Good morning, lovely people. It's a bit chilly. You can see my breath. Well, yes, we're definitely into January, aren't we? Just following on from the other day when I was talking about what to sow in January, just quickly before we go into the garden, because it's not going to take us long to get around the garden today. In the UK, for those of you outside of the UK or new to growing this year, whatever, generally, so flustered, there's cats everywhere. They're all looking to get up here, but there's no space at the moment. Yes, generally, this is when we start to get cold. You know, that whole thing of white Christmas. Yeah, it doesn't really happen. Well, it certainly doesn't happen down here. I think a few folk up north had a few smatterings. You're right, Rusty. A few little flakes. But yeah, now it's when we're going to start to get cold. January, February, they tend to be our colder months. It's going to feel like... It's going to feel frustrating in some ways because we've bounced into this new year. We can't wait to get stuck into our gardens again. But oh no, it's gone so cold. Fear not. Just wrap up. We can get out there. And you know, if we're doing all those jobs like I was sort of suggesting the other day about if you're creating new beds, all that kind of really physical work, it'll keep you warm. I don't know if that's picking up on camera. It really has gone a bit chilly, but it's bright. It's a beautifully bright day. Shadow issues, we don't care. Let's get out there, see how the garden is looking at the beginning of January. It's really wet underfoot still. Oh, it's been such a wet winter so far, but it's not wet today. So come on, let's have a wander up the garden path together. It's a little bit blowy from time to time as well, so I hope you're going to be able to hear okay. And I've just remembered something else I wanted to tell you about another little video strand I'm going to start, as well as the what to sow in video strand. But I'll talk to you about that in the shed because it is quite chilly out here. But what reminded me to tell you about that shortly is I'm quite pleased with where the garden is at for this time of year. And most of the jobs that I wanted to do, let's have a long shot just while I'm nattering. Yeah, most of the jobs that I wanted to do, I've got done. There's a couple that are outstanding, but I should enjoy getting stuck into those. And yeah, it's all looking A, where I'd expect it to be, and B, actually in some places a little bit further than I thought I was going to be. Anyway, up here in the top corner, this little row of calendula. They're still flowering, they're still trying, but as you will have seen in the Advent videos, in this corner, this is my next job, my sign post, plus the lily. Oh, it's chilly wind, the tree lily. Yeah, so if you saw in the Advent videos, I've cut that down, not completely to the ground, because I wanted to be able to trace all these stems back so that I can dig down and lift it up. That's the one I was talking about that's right next to the path, look. So that will be a happy job to do. In this bed where I had the cauliflower and the kale, it's now just the kale. I'd had all the collies, and I think just with so much rain, most of the collies with their foliage had gone right over and was rank. But this one is still producing really lovely foliage. Well, it's not producing foliage anymore, but this foliage is still really nice to harvest. And actually it's so massive. I wonder if I can give you a sense of scale with my hand. One of these leaves, that is enough greens for one meal. And then just behind, can we see it from here? There's a teeny tiny little curd. That's going to come home with me today. So yeah, where the collies came out, for now I have, as with, let me see if this way is better to show you, as I have with all the beds that become empty, that's got some cardboard on it just to protect the soil a bit. I didn't have anything to put under the cardboard by way of compost, but I did top dressed this with compost last spring, so I'm sort of partly protecting that. Some of my cardboard is going to need replacing already, because partly the partly the rain, but also the worms have really been chomping away on this cardboard. So yeah, that's on the list, more cardboard. Then, a few things have been put off because of the rain, but I finally, on a dry day recently, I've harvested all the rest of the calendula that had gone over to seed heads. And what I'll do with this bed, this is all parsnips now. I'm actually probably going to clear this whole bed in the next couple of weeks. Morning, buddy. Yeah, get these last parsnips out. Either turn them into soup and freeze them, or just freeze them as they are. But yeah, get this bed cleared, get some compost on it, get it covered, because I think this will be onions this year. So where are we? Beginning of January. So the onions would go in about April or so. So yeah, let's give it January, February, March, fallow with a bit of compost. Next bed over, I still don't know what half these greens are, but I've started nicking a few leaves here and there. Yum. No change here with it. But look, what I love about both the perpetual spinach and the chard in that end is there's just such beautiful, vibrant colours, growth to enjoy all winter. And as I mentioned before, I think, when, I love my brassicas, absolutely love them, but these are both a nice change in terms of leaf when I don't want that full-on brassica taste. The little frise seedlings from Mark, I don't think they've grown, but likewise, I don't want to jinx myself, they haven't been attacked either. The really late sowing of broad beans, wow, they're going for it, aren't they? Look how they're all reaching for the sun today. It looks like they've opened up their little arms and said, sunshine. And that ridiculously late sowing of carrots, they're trying to do something there and there. Oh, goodness me. Well, it's fun to watch, isn't it? As in, watch to see they'll do it. Look, is there anything so beautiful in this low winter light? Let me get you in here for a burst of colour. Look at that. Is that not a sight to behold? Beautiful. Even the sound of it is gorgeous, isn't it? Now, the purple sprouting broccoli, I would expect to start harvesting in about February, so in about another 6 weeks or so sort of mid-February and then into March. But where is it? Where did I spot it? This one, get you right in there. Oh, this one has decided to show up really early. That's crazy. Oh, I've just noticed it on another as well. So it looks like, wowzers, these are really early. It looks like I may be getting my first purple sprouting in the next few days. And then can you see, I don't know if you can make it out, but here, this is all the little teeny tiny sprouts ready to form. There's tons of them. Oh, that's such a treat. They're such a beautiful, tender treat after the really robust, heavy brassica flavours all winter. Oh, this light today. Gorgeous. This is one of my real must-do jobs. This is all the garlic. You can see it's all growing away quite happily in there. It'll be easier to show you the ones on the end. Yeah, it's all growing away perfectly happily, but I really, really must now get this bed mulched with... That bag is full of leaves to trim. It's just been like literally every time that I've had a day free to be here, for the most part it's been chucking with rain. The celery is still going great guns and doing me proud. I mean, it's such a great one to grow as a cut and come again. This is a really useful one. I'm going to talk about this more when I talk about planning your own garden. Cut and come veg are a great idea if you've only got a small space, because when you're harvesting, you're not taking the plant out, you're just taking a few leaves at a time, and it will keep coming back. I mean, I've been nicking leaves from this since, gosh, when was it? End of July? And it's, yeah, I mean, look at it, crazy, man. And I give loads away. Yum, yum, yum. The little fennel from Mark. Well, I was going to say they're not growing, but let's get right down to look at this one. Do you see what I see? New growth. That astounds me. You know, I think I've said this about 25 gazillion times already, but I'm really amazed that something so delicate looking can be alive over winter. Goodness me. Yeah, a couple more bulbs in the main bit of that bed to have away soon. Lovely. Oh dear, these little cabbages. You know what? I sowed really late. I planted them out really late. They were tiny little seedlings. They got a bit of a battering from the pigeons. They are recovering a little bit, but gosh, they're tiny, scrappy things. And I think it was just too late. I seem to recall, was it my third or fourth sowing? Because I had that brassica massacre, didn't I? Look, it was worth a go. I had the space. There will be a few leaves in here to have away, but just nothing like I've had previously. Never mind, there's a little bit there for me. Again, this is one of my Advent videos when I planted these spare broad beans out. And the experiment with these is they're having zero protection whatsoever. And they've had right batterings from wind and rain and cold. But they look okay, don't they? Cavallo Nero, still going great guns. Oh, you see, this is another one, talk of cut and come again veggies. If you like your brassicas, your kales, what have you, without much space, then I highly recommend Cavallo Nero, because you can, because there's so many in here, you might not be able to make it out, but can you see it's quite a sort of tall, thin aspect? Whereas, say for instance, the cauliflowers want a good couple of foot to themselves, you could plant these about a foot apart, so it really does make the most of a small space. Oh, and they're gorgeous, aren't they? Prehistoric looking, aren't they? Oh, beautiful. I could just eat that right now. And then, oh my goodness, the character disaster of 2020. There are a few little fingerlings in there for me still. You know what? I've got to say, the few I've had out, they've never tasted so good. Desperate times, desperate measures, and boy oh boy have I enjoyed them. I think that's the thing, isn't it, when something is a bit of a fail, not a total fail, but a bit of a fail, I think it just makes us appreciate every single morsel that we do get even more. Oh, I might have to have a couple of those away today. Right, I've got to remember, cauliflower, little carrots. I might have a little mini supper. Okay, same with these very late. This was all, it's all calibres. And some of them, they just haven't recovered from being pecked. Actually, looking at that, I'm wondering if there's a blimmin' caterpillar in there. It's too cold for caterpillars. Get out! there may be just a handful of leaves for me to scrounge. We'll see. Oh, onto a happier sight. The broad beans. Right, let me show you how they're doing, because we had a look in December, didn't we, at the beginning of December. Hold on a sec, let me get that out of the way. It's always tricky one-handed. How are they looking? You're seeing in there without me? Yeah, great. Oh, they look perky, don't they? Standing up like serried ranks. Fab. Let's just pop that down again. I just kind of keep a brick on the end here, keep this closed to stop the foxes from running through. This mesh is a little bit easier. Oh, it's been a bit mashed. It's out of the soil. Sorry, that was an awkward angle. I think that's probably foxes jumping on them. These were all the cell-sown ones, which again, during Advent, you will have seen, slippy, you will have seen me planting out. Again, they're all looking fine. Interestingly, if we're going to draw any differences between the direct sown and the cell-sown, I don't know if you can make out through there. Oh yeah, you just about can. The cell-sown ones appear a little bit taller, dare I say it, a little bit leggy than the direct sown ones. I don't know why that would be, because, you know, they weren't in the cold frame for very long. Initially I was thinking, is that because they got too warm in the cold frame? But the cold frame windows were all open, and they were only in there really until they germinated, and then they went onto the deck. What I do wonder, say, with the deck is, because my fence faces the sun until 2 o'clock, whether it then gives off that warmth in the later afternoon, and whether that little bit of extra warmth from the fence has made them go a bit fast. We'll see how the harvest is, we'll see how they get on. But what I'm inclined to think, by looking at the two rows in comparison, direct sown, cell sown, I'd rather have them all looking like the direct sown ones. I'd rather have them growing more slowly, they're squatter, they're more sturdy. You see, we're always learning, aren't we? This is the thing about gardening, is just keep observing everything and ask questions all the time of yourself. Say, you know, with this, why are these taller than these ones? Why have these gotten leggy? What condition did this have that these didn't have? Which do I prefer? Which do I want to do next year? Which method? That's for me to ponder. I won't make any decisions though until we get much further into the year and towards harvesting. So not much change here, apart from, as you've seen, I've started to, this is all the, well, you saw I emptied a compost bin the other day, but then on the top of this is all calendula detritus, and my cauliflower stalks, excuse me one moment, yes, my cauliflower stalks, which I need to chop up, bash up, and again I need to start finding cardboard. There's just more sort of the cauliflower, etc., detritus under there. This is the point I wanted to make and I forgot to. When I was chopping up the cauliflowers and just picking up a few of the, where I've got the purple sprouting, some dead leaves from underneath, I have put them on this bed as compost / mulch. You may ask, why didn't I put it where I took the cauliflowers out, where I was saying I didn't have any compost? The thing about these is, as they decay, and you'll see under there, as they decay, they quite possibly will attract slugs. Now, I don't mind attracting slugs to this area. I might put a bit of beer out even. I don't mind attracting them to here, because there's nothing else for them to eat or damage. I don't want to put all of that on the, where are we now, on that ex-cauliflower bed up there because it's right next to kale. I don't want the slugs to finish the detritus and then jump into the, well, not jump, but slime up into the kale and start attacking the kale. Look, he's found his little sunspot again. Oh, you gorgeous boy. Oh, sorry, sniffle. So yeah, definitely need more cardboard, both for here and the beds that were covered in October, where the snails have already started. Slugs, not snails. Worms, that's what I'm trying to say. Already started eating. In here you can see, that's my tray of, which one's that? That's the tray of sweet peas. That's the tray of peas. Let me just show you. And you can see on there just a little bit of chili powder sprinkled across the top and tucked into their tulle. So hopefully that will keep the mice at bay. Oh, I need to clean the cold frame. It's coming around the back end. Oh, I can't wait to see that water tank next year. That'll be brilliant. And each time I walk past, we're right into the sun, but every time I walk past this path now, I think I'm so glad I got that done. Obviously the next job will be to get out all these metal spikes. Glad to have this little job done. Like I was saying at the time, it really was a little list of little jobs, but it was on the list and now it's not. So at some point in this sort of later spring, I'm going to go and visit a local nursery and try and pick up 2 or 3 plants from them to put in here, some sort of flowers. Oh yes, so sorry, just one moment. When I put the peas and sweet peas in the cold frame, I'd completely forgotten about this. It was one of my pots of peppers, and I suddenly thought, oh, because I had to move it out of the way, I'm going to get some more ericaceous compost and pot up. Let me just, I'm going really carefully, it's so sippy here. This little blueberry, I want to pot into here. This small potted one lost its leaves much more quickly than the large one, and I think that was partly because of stress of being in a smaller pot. So yeah, I want to give it a bigger pot. That one will do. Just need to get some more ericaceous compost for it. Cuttings still to go in later in the year. My second lot of freesias. Yay, they're showing, and I'm sure I can see these little sedums growing day by day. It'll be time to get this mesh off soon. That will be nice because I like to see things growing. And look at them in this pot. They're really going for it. I mean, it's I feel like that one's grown 2 inches in 2 days, but there's loads and loads of them appearing now. Oh, I'm so excited to see these in flower and smell them. Yay. Nothing in this pot. Plans for that. Oh, so, and obviously nothing going on in the herb. Oh no, that's a lie. I spotted something the other day. Oh, and I also spotted the rhubarbs trying to come up. You need to come out. But look, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this the other day, because it really has been mild so far. Stepping on my stepping stone, coming into here. Look, I think that's one of the Sicilian garlic coming up already. Fantastic. That's an ornamental. That's, you know, it's a beautiful ornamental. It's not actually a garlic. Fantastic. I actually gave this bed a bit of a weed out the other day. It wasn't too bad. But what I'm thinking of doing is, because it's more or less permanent planting, you know, I don't think I'm going to get anything else in here anytime soon, unless I remove something. I'm thinking of going and getting a load of the wood chips, just to cover any bare areas, basically to suppress any weeds. I think it'll look nice with the wood chips too. It'll sort of set the plants off a little more. Yeah, crazy rhubarb. It's far too early. No, I still haven't found a bowl to make a pond from. I will at some point. Right, before I forget, I just want to take you back into the shed to talk about what I was mentioning 15 minutes ago or whenever at the top of the path. Oh, isn't it lovely out there when the sun comes out? But I tell you what, when the sun goes in, it's really chilly. Anyway, yes, so another little strand I'm going to introduce this year on my page, as well as the what to sow this month, at the beginning of each month. I'm not sure when I'll do it, whether it'll be mid-month or towards the end of the month, but I think it'll be useful for me, but also hopefully useful for some of you too. Just when I was saying about, say with the broad beans, you know, always question, like, why is this better than that, or why is this not working, da, da, da. Year on year we do that as well. Why did it work this year and not last year, and what did I do differently last year, etc, etc. So I thought it'd be quite fun each month for me to do a little compilation video, maybe sort of half an hour or so, no longer. I'm going to try and be a bit more compact this year. I've taken your advice on board. But yeah, say about a 30-minute video that's a compilation of clips from this month 1 year ago. So firstly we can see, you know, it'll be nice for me to chart the changes in the garden from year to year, but also in doing it, it might give me a chance to think, so I did this at a certain stage last year and it didn't work, maybe I should have done it later, etc, etc. So yeah, I thought it would be fun for me and hopefully fun for you, and also hopefully a kind of a learning opportunity for all of us too. And so I'll just do that as a little compilation, and then it may be that the following video, when I'm back in the garden, I may reflect on it a little bit. I might not, I might just let it stand alone. But yes, that's something else I'm hoping to bring to you all every month throughout this year. Oh, I was just remembering back to that first week of August here at 5:30, 6 in the morning to water, and it was already 30 degrees plus. Thought I was going to die from the heat. That seems so long ago now, doesn't it? Alright, my lovelies, that's it for this one. Next time you see me, I'm going to be talking about how to plan the kitchen garden for a whole year's worth of food. So I will see you then. In the meantime, look after yourselves, eh? Bye for now.